Okay,
Super.
with that we could begin. We could begin tonight's session. So, first, thank you for coming. I appreciate you guys. And I think it's you're gonna get some valuable session. I hope you learn something and take it away. And thank you for coming for tonight's presentation. I work really hard in the AI space. I myself, you don't know, I was a tax director, CPA. I grew up in New Jersey and work in New York City. I was a consultant for Price Waterhouse, and what I did was look at tax and tax technology and try to find the right solution for my clients. And I became in the private industry as a tax director, picking software, picking technology, and then running a team, teaching them how to prepare, look at accounting and everything else. And then over time, I have passion for technology, so I started working on a lot of these, like, when ChatGPT came out, so working on ChatGPT and OpenAI. And now there's different flavors and models you can choose from. There's so many now. Now I think people got confused and got lost in the ether because there's so many choices now. You have all these like Manus, you have, DeepSeek, you have all these things going out there. Claude, and you have like, you have Codex now. So you have so many things out there. People actually confused, they're like, oh, let's go back to step one. So hopefully tonight we can go back to, the step one and how would you analyze the deals. And I can show you some examples that I do, and hopefully that'll help you. Okay, so the way that I do it in my company is that in 2026, it's a great time to be alive because you're gonna be in the AI space. And AI space means that a lot of agentic work can be done now. Whereas when I hired a mentor, I think it was like a year and a half ago in AI, and I always recommend you hire a mentor because anything you do in life, you need a mentor. Like if you say you want to learn how to do this, you should hire a mentor because they're always ahead of you. And essentially, the reason why I liked AI was because in this world, like around I say fourth quarter last year and then first quarter where it really started taking shape was that there's agentic AI that can help you do some things besides just talking to the AI. So before we just talk to the AI and say, what do you do? How do you do this? And then essentially it will talk back to you and give you some ideas and give you some research. But now it can actually do some work for you. So I find it very valuable and I want to, go through how we do things and what the process is. Um, but first I just wanna make sure before we build a machine, I want you to open one of your AI models. If you use Manus or Claude or something, why don't you just put this prompt in there and put a picture of yourself in there, and I want you to create a image of yourself because I want everyone here to see yourself in the next 5 years as very successful in multifamily. Because the reason why is because right now it's the great reset. So if you don't know multifamily, if you knew in 2021, a lot of people took aggressive positions and they took bridge loans and everything else, even my mentor, and essentially they didn't see the massive interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve and they didn't know the risk premium would be so high. So what happened was when this happened, the market went down, and then now it's at a great time is to enter and say, you know what, we have to buy some of these distressed assets, which we bought one of them in November with my team, Conrad and Brendan, everyone here. And we bought that at a foreclosure price, a low basis, directly from Fannie Mae, the quasi-government lender. And we were able to utilize that and essentially do well. So if you want to picture yourself, the next 5 years of your image, you get this prompt and you paste it in, and you're gonna see yourself in the image. And I put myself in here. I can kind of show you what I did in this one. So if you put yourself in a picture, it's gonna give you an image like this. And this is very important because people overlook this basic step one. Because in life, you have to picture yourself successful. You have to go to the next level. And if you really want to succeed in life, it's about mindset and putting your thoughts where you want to be. When I first started this from PwC to well, being a just a multifamily investor, I had nothing, had zero. And I was worried. I was like, how am I supposed to, get this multifamily? Do people believe in me? And then I had doubts, right? And I hired a mentor and said, oh, you can do it. You'll find a home for this. And then I started networking and went through events, and then I finally found investors and they invested with me. So this is very important. I think step one, you have to think to yourself about how would you, where is yourself in the next 5 years? and you gotta think of your company, your vision, and I want you to put it like do this every single day until you get to that level, okay? And then you'll get to that level because in the universe, the way life works, and I found out many years going through this is that it works in very funny ways. It's like when you like meditate and you're alone time, and you simply say be very thankful for what you have, and you simply ask the universe and say, listen, I want to be a successful investor. I hope to meet, good people in networking. Hopefully we can get good partnerships and ultimately, do some deals together so we can grow this business. And what's really funny in life is called synchronicity. It just happens is that it'll come to you and then you get deals. Like the first deal I raised capital, I needed 750,000 for Oklahoma deal in Moore, Oklahoma, 56 unit. And ironically, I was helping someone in Atlanta, Georgia, closing that first deal and helping him like, raise equity and this and that. And I got a phone call, and he's like, "I got two off-market deals for you in Oklahoma. One was in OKC, one was in Moore." And I was like, let me see both of them. And when I analyzed my mentor, we had a 56 unit in Moore, and I said, you know what, this looks like a good deal. At that time, it was 2019, so I got a low rate. I think it was like 4%, 4.3% rate, somewhere around 4%. And and I negotiated a price for like 1.8 million for a 56 unit in OKC. So it was like 30 something a door, 30 something a door, some very, very cheap basis. And that was just through me, just say, hey, hopefully I can get this, asking the university, can you help me? And then and things just fell into place. And that's how I got really my first deal as a lead sponsor and a syndicator. And the ironic thing was, the capital, I needed like 750. I was able to go to my family for half, and the other half I went to the event that my mentor threw, and I met someone there. And ultimately, what happened was that person said she wanted to learn. I said, okay. And then so her family put the other half, and then we were able to close on a physics unit deal. Now that OKC deal was very valuable because that deal was my first deal as a lead sponsor, and it was my second as a GP. But that I learned so much from that deal that now I can teach my students, hey, you know what? This is what I learned from this deal. This is what you shouldn't do. And this is a sub-market and stuff like that. So I learned so much lesson just from going to the pain points of that first deal. And I learned a lot about asset management. And you don't if you haven't done a deal, asset management is really hard. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do because some things will change on you and it'll fluctuate. And all of a sudden, you have to make a decision to make sure that you can actually, go up and above beyond essentially, what it is. Because otherwise, it's gonna go like this. The ship's gonna go down if you don't take action and make the right decisions. So like one example is that when I first bought the property, I trusted a property manager, and the property said, "Oh, we'll take care of it. It'd be great." And then next thing she wasn't being truthful. She hired the original manager. She wasn't doing her job, and something didn't seem right. So I used to drive from Dallas 3 hours up there to Moore, Oklahoma, and I said, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I saw that, essentially she wasn't really running it. Like she didn't really care about the property. So I had to just talk to my partner, say, hey, we gotta switch out property management. So that's one big lesson that I learned from going through this running this. Now it's been almost 8 years now. So it's always been like what six, that's 19, it started 18, so now it's like almost a long time now. So now I've done over like 17 deals. I sold three or four, that's one of them. And I sold it at a good time too. I sold it in 2022. So 19 and 2022, and end of 2022 is when it started going down, when the markets are going down and started turning. So now is a great time for you guys to go and actually find those deals and get the distressed deals really where they're hurting and try to buy at a low basis so you can actually make some money. Because right now a lot of people are hurting. So hopefully they will let it go, or you talk to some people and you talk to lenders. So one is a lender. So you talk to like Arbor and all these people that like Illumint. You also have brokers locally in the area, so make sure you know who they are. So if you're in Florida, Anna, talk to your local brokers, connect to the lenders and get deal flow that way. That's how I got it, and I can show you another way how I do it. But that's what I recommend. Okay, so it's very important that you gotta think of yourself in the next 5 years where you want to be, and write down those goals and emulate that in your daily practice so that you can be successful in where you want to be. Okay. So now what do you use? You use ChatGPT or what do you use, Anna? What do you AI? Do you use any AI now?
I use Claude.
Claude? Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay. Okay. You Claude the Claude Code, Claude Cowork, or Claude Chat?
Both.
Both. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And
So
Claude Excel. That's another thing. Excel. Yeah.
Excel. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cloud
So
Excel, so they're connected.
okay, just do me a favor. Put in the chat. What do you use? Which AI chat you use? Put in the chat box so I can see what you guys. So I know what you guys are using. Okay, just say Claude or ChatGPT or what are you guys using? The Manus or just put it in the box. Okay. So so what happens is I build a I essentially build a agentic agent, and the agent will essentially help me scan and find. What it does is it scrapes the internet on all sources available, and we'll show an example and how we do it. We're gonna run it and show you. Then it filters it. Then we give it the data it needs. Like I said, broker sends you like a T12 rent roll and everything else. Then it analyzes it. Then it acts and then you apply to it. Then if it's something like I do it, then we say, okay, good. So now the next one here is, so let me show you. So when you do manual underwriting, what it does, it takes you many hours and it works like it takes many hours. Back then, when it had no AI, we used to pull the deal and I used to say, does it make sense or not? And I pull my Excel spreadsheet and you get to kind of like go through it and see if it makes sense or not. And sometimes you make mistakes in Excel because sometimes you're in a hurry, you're multitasking, you have like make mistakes, and that's what happens in this situation. And that's why I said, this is better. You better have the system do it for you, especially initially run identify everything. Then just gotta double check it, make sure it looks right. Like a reviewer, you gotta review what the work does. Okay. Um. So I stopped trying to output the work and market. So I built agents. So now we live in the agentic world. And since I first started, when I hired my first mentor, I built this kind of portfolio, 2000, which I never thought I can do. But now I built a portfolio in multifamily around this. And I vision myself being very successful, being gratitude. And then that's part of what I call the miracle morning. I mean, I'm not sure how the miracle morning, but that's like a someone who wrote this book. But my miracle morning is like you give thanks. I work out, I eat healthy breakfast, and then I come back and I start working. I meditate for like maybe 20, 30 minutes and I start working. That's my miracle morning. Yeah. And in this situation, what you want to do is this. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on Crexy, LoopNet, and CoStar. So we have access to certain like CoStar, and sometimes we get this sometimes through our connections. We get this sometimes we pay a online service to get access to the owner's names, right? We have something called Capitalize. We have CoStar from our lender who gives us CoStar reports. And we also have something with like, you know how Crexy, you can pay something, get an intelligence report? You can do that as well. And what you do is you want to filter it by your submarket. So if you're in Florida and you want to say, you want to define your submarket, and in the prompt, which I want to give to you, you can say exactly how many units you're looking for, what market, what rent gaps. Then I want you to analyze it, the T12, so when you have this and it makes sense, then you get the data. Once you have the data, you can feed this all this here. Now, if the broker gives you the data, you have data here, you can analyze it real quickly and say, does it make sense or not? And then you can follow up any question. You can have the agent actually do this for you if you want to and say, hey, I analyze this, but what's the question? Like, what is it that you want us to ask? And yeah, it comes up into it. So like, I'll give you an example. Like so this guy, I call him Mike. My birthday is Mike, by the way, but this guy's named Mike. And he every day I program, I told Conrad, I programmed him to run a what called daily deal scan so that when he runs these listings, it comes through as a real like source for me. And it tells me every day if it makes sense or not. So what I'll do is I'll come in here, okay, and we have I use Claude mainly. And I use mainly Claude and I also use Codex for like coding. So I try different types. I tried Manus, I tried Get Victor, I tried all these different things. Um, and I came back to Claude because of the connectors here. So if you don't know, Claude has these connectors. You click in here and you can connect all these little things and show a hand. Who knows this connector? Do you understand? Have connectors? Do you use them? Anna, you use it? Anna, you use that, right? Okay. So you have all these connectors here. So what you want to do is you want to come in here. So this is your first time using Claude. You download desktop. You get a little icon like this. Then you come in here and you come into here and you get to settings. And then this is what you put in here. Like if you come in from Chappie, you can copy and paste who you are. So I'm a syndicator, Greystone Capital Group, best in class, premier. We focus on multifamily, we also self-storage, assisted living. We use AI technology. You put everything in here, right? And then you come back in here. Then you want to go to your connectors here. So you want to add in what you like. So we use GitHub for the coding repository. We use Fathom for AI note taking. Go to book trip for conferences. I put here. I pay my managers here, Cash App. Blotato is an app that we use that essentially will take my content. I will schedule my content, let's say on Sunday. I'll pack it for the whole week, and you can schedule the whole social media content. You can post to TikTok, create short videos, everything you want in your LinkedIn, everything you want to post. This custom app will post it for you, and it will schedule for you, and the agent will do that for you automatically. So this is an invaluable app called Blotato. So it's like a potato but B. And everything's in here. So my taxes. This is a software I use that essentially what it does is it's kind of like a Google Voice, but it's not a Google Voice, it's meant for a second line. And what it does is that I have an agent would essentially text them. So this is my storage business. Say, hey, you've been late on your payment. Please pay due, and it actually chases them down. And what you do is you just tell the agent to run and scale people who are late in your software, and it will actually text them live and say, hey, you passed due, and then we get payments coming in. So this is what you do to connectors. And then you have also live artifact, which is kind of like producing live, like different things, like different like media. So that was really nice. It's kind of new, it's a new thing. Schedule task. So I can show you a live example of what I do. And this should help add a value to your life and save you time. So I have many, many scheduled tasks. I don't know if you guys know the schedule tasks. So can you create a schedule? So you come in here and you say, and I use Cowork. So this is chat, like a regular chat. Cowork is like the operator. So operator means that you want things to do on your behalf to work. So it's an operator level. And code is really meant the best for you to make something. So think of it as you want to build something like a website. You want to build an application. You want to build something. You use Claude Code, which is the most powerful. So the way I rank this is the most powerful. 100% power is in here. This is like around 70% of the power because what it does is that it has limitations, as sandbox, and it's more like an operator. So if you want to build something, I recommend you build here. Okay, you build like let's say I want to build a website or dashboard, and I build these dashboards in here. So you give it the prompt, and it builds out this beautiful dashboard. So I have dashboards I built out. I can show you an example of my dashboard. So you go here, and here's my executive team that I built out. So you can use that and leverage that power of Claude Code. And what this does, I can move this out of the way here. Okay. So what it does is I have a whole team that's running every single day, nonstop, programmed. So I save literally if I hire these C-suite people like Jarvis COO and all these chief officers, it would have cost me $1.6 million benefits and payroll. I only pay Claude $2 a month on the max plan. That's the cost using Claude and Claude Code and Codework. So I say $1.6 million as a C-suite team, and I make a flat organization. What I do is, I'm the CEO. This is the COO, and his job is to review and approve every single of my the direct reports. And every day they have to do like Google. They produce Google ad marketing. I have an agency for them that essentially runs Google ads for them, and I run a health check optimization score based on Google algorithm, and I have a secret way to maximize their conversions in storage, so I can make money from my clients. So then they pay me per movement as contingency fee. So Katie's the brains behind that, but I have the human intelligence because I have many years of doing self-storage to look at what should I layer on top of the intelligent Google Analytics that can maximize the ratio inside of Google Ads to maximize conversion because I get paid per movement, $100 per movement. So if I get like 20 movements, that's $2, that's like times that. So that's like $2,000, right? So I get, 50 movements, that's times that. So I need to get maximum conversion from him. Because a lot of people in storage are hurting like multifamily. What happened was interest went up, SBA doubled to 9% rate, and they're all like down the tubes. And also this new bills, they're all down, similar to multifamily. So they need help in storage marketing right now. So there's a high demand for this. So this officer will run all the content, Facebook ads, produces my brand voice and videos. Sales director does all the sales and everything. This does my storage operations, gives me occupancy for my apartments and storage. Mike, I'll show you a prompt how we do deal sourcing and acquisitions. Our focus is acquisition today. These are a lot of content. I'm just trying to put it to you. It's the CFO. He does my bookkeeping, so I let go my bookkeeper. I have targeted goals. My future self, I have each year you have a goal with to try to reach those goals, and this he keeps track of me, the CFO. I have investor relations to raise, over, we raised my whole team a lot of money, over $10 million, at least $20 million. And just keep track of all my investors, updates. It produces monthly updates for my deals. Like we have apartments, we have self-storage. We have a mastermind community where my students can be live and aiding help engage with them, give daily briefs, posts, guest speakers, and everything else. So that's kind of like what I built in Cloud Code. And in co-work today, we'll focus more on this. And I want to show you my prompt so you can use it in your life and help you find more deals faster. So in this schedule task, we'll go to, I'll run my, this one called Mike's Weekly Pipeline, Daily Seal. So I'm gonna put this in the thing so you can copy this. So just copy me and steal this and put it to your own submarket. So if you're in OKC or you're in Miami or wherever, just copy this. And you can utilize all this knowledge I have put in there. I spent many hours, literally many hundred hours refining this agent because the problem with Claude, if you don't use any agent, what happens? It's like a talented chef. You could tell whatever to do, put French food, whatever. But the problem is the next day they forget. So to solve that problem, I built a second brain as a repository, almost like GitHub. And as I reference a second brain, so you don't forget, and put skills. Skills are like instructions, hardwire the skills into your brain so that you don't forget this. And that's the biggest problem is they forget. And that's what we have. So I'll paste this in the chat for you here. So let me see, where's the chat box here? Okay, right here. So this is my I can show you this so you can kind of see it. This is what I use. Let's see, can I send it out there? I think there's so much in here. Oh, I think it's way over the $1,000 limit. So let me maybe paste it in half or something. Let me see. Way over. Let me see. Let me reduce this. Okay, let me send this. And then we send the other stuff here. Okay, I'll give you this thing, hard rules. Okay, I'll paste it in here. Can you see this chat? Just raise your hand and say, go like this, thumbs up. You can see it. You see, I'm trying to. Okay. Okay, so I pasted most of it for you. I'm gonna paste the second down here. Because there's a limitation. You can only put like 1,000 words in there or something. So that's my prompt that I spent many hours refining for you guys. So what it's telling this Mike the agent is you're my sole, chief agent here at my firm. I'm only hunting for multifamily, not self-storage, not nothing else, not assisted living. Any storages you pass because right now I'm trying to sell my storage portfolio, not buy. Okay. And and every day I want you to scan the results from Crexi, LoopNet, and we use like CoStar and we use another site I can show you. And send me an email. I don't know iMessage, nothing like that. Email me. Okay. And here's what I want you to put. If you're putting Florida, you gotta put like multifamily. You want Boca Raton. If you want Pensacola, you put it all here. And what units you want? You want 200 units, 100 units, you put it here. 2 million, 10 million. Okay. Yeah. Can you add them in, Conrad? Justin? Okay. And what are you looking for? What's your minimum returns? I want at least 6% cash on cash. I want IRR. I want at least greater than 7% cap rate because if it's 5%, you're not gonna make much money. So I'm more like a low basis cash flow guy. And we've been getting these with the foreclosures to get the access. And then we don't want so all these things like we don't want like flood zone of Houston. We don't want the Bayou, the Strait, the Buffalo, and all these old things. I'm okay with 32 units because it's close by. I can imagine we could watch it close by where I live in Dallas. Ideally we don't want below 1985 because it's older. We're afraid of capex, the roof and HVAC. Chiller and boilers, 60 is very common in Dallas. We don't want chiller and boilers because it's very expensive, breaks down. So I want you to have more like a class B, more like that, So and it runs this every day, and I can show you an example of the output. Okay, you can even try it yourself on your chat GDP, and you tell me what you see. But if I run this daily deal scan here, I can show you. Let me see. I think I ran it this morning. I have so many inbox, so many emails every single day. Let's see. Let me try deal scan. But you guys can run it your side too, and let me know what you see. You should always do it along so that you can learn on hands-on, So um. And then ask me questions in the chat box and Conrad can let me know. But you see here, I programmed this mic to make it in my color, Greystone. My color is gold and blue. So I want you in my colors, my brand voice, Jonathan's voice, and not no one else's, not Conrad, no one else. And it runs through all these things like this capitalized source, correct C, and all these things like that. And it gives me like a top list. Hey, you know what? You got this smoking gun right here, Fort Worth, 2003. Collier's the lender. The balloon is due in like freaking like this month. So it's telling you, hey, this guy's in trouble. Code red alert and red alert. Hey, this guy's in trouble. You want to reach out to this owner or whoever got you this deal in this capital item. It will give you, and if you prompt it, say who's the owner, it'll pull out information from this website. It's capitalized. Okay. There's a subscription I pay a month. I pay around $200 a month around. It's like Crexi or CoStar, and then it will get you the information. You have to like call or email or one of your team will call. But this agent actually email them for you on your behalf. But sometimes I want to call because I want to get a human touch and say, hey, how you doing? So the human touch is a call and say what's going on. But if you want to send an email, you can. And this agent that you delegate can actually send an email on your behalf. Okay. But sometimes I think it's important to have your voice and your touch to get the deal for the sales, For the sales, a little bit like in my storage, my number one rule is you have the number one when I call for rent, it goes to my wife and me first because I want to know who am I talking to. Now I have an AI agent named Katie. When it goes in my storage, it's on my gate code. That's a $1 task. I'll give it to the agent. I want to make a payment. It's a $1 task. I'm not gonna worry about that. If I'm going to conference, my wife would be my backup as a human as sales because sales is important. Because let's say I had one today. It's a true story. Here today, he said he wants 4 spots in my RV storage, and that's big. That's a big client. 4 spots is a big client. So you don't want to lose people because of that. Because hey, I want to move in this Sunday. I'm doing a big job in the oil and gas in Midland. So yeah, okay. You call me Sunday, and someone will help you on a Sunday, and that's important because he's a big client. You want to take him right away. So it's kind of like these big deals. If the owner, you call the owner and say, hey, I know you. I'm looking. My name is Jonathan. I'm an investment investor here in Dallas. And in Fort Worth, I'm looking at this property at Fort Worth in 6021 Balance Rock Drive. Is there a way I can help you out? I think it looks like you have a loan due or something, and see what he says, and then he says, yeah, I want to maybe, I want to sell it or something, or maybe could recapitalize it. And another way you can actually assume the loan, as long as the lender is okay, like Arbor or Lument, or you can recapitalize with him. So as long as you guys can work together a deal and recapitalize the deal, and then you could be on the deal as well. So that's another way of you getting into the deal, a very large deal that's beyond your capacity, right? If you're new and you can't get like 200 units, that's another way of doing it too. But again, you have to know them and you get to know them of that. So it's a little risky too, the partnership. But the other way is you can assume the loan and have little raise, but you have to need a good property manager to make sure a good property manager run it and watch them very carefully. That's what I recommend. And like a lot of these deals are in the past were pretend extending. Now they're coming to the headwinds where I think in this year you're gonna see a lot of foreclosures coming through. And I'm already getting some today already. I was waiting for like 6 months now, and I got the next batch coming in. So I'll get it by end of this week, another like 200 something units foreclosure. I have another one in Dallas that they may need my help. So I might partner with them and take on a very large property here in Oaklawn, which is a nice uptown, very nice area. And I want to double check the numbers, but that's another deal that we're looking at. But for you guys, you run this. You see, Tyler is a great sub-market, a secondary market. So if you can't find your primary market, your secondary market, I recommend that. This is Wells Fargo. It's coming due. Balloon is coming due. So you can talk to them and reach out to them. And this is a way where you can also bypass the broker because the broker sometimes, probably most of the time, will give you stuff that don't pencil in. So Anna, when you look at Florida, they're gonna give you stuff that most likely won't pencil in. Unless they really believe in you and they trust you. Because it's always gonna be the favorites on top. The top five they'll give to you first and not you. So either you partner with them or you gotta find it yourself. If you're new, that's what you get to do. Because it's very hard for you to get a broker to trust you to close to get the first deal. That's the hard part. That's the issue with the newbies who join these guru programs who believe in this mindset. And it's true, they have a mindset, but can you really get the deal? I mean, that's the hard part. Do they believe in you? That's the hard part, right? So this is how I do it, and this is how you save time. And another thing is like for example, I'll give you an example. I got this one here today. We got this data for this Houston deal. We pulled it out today, and I put it into like a folder. So we have a folder and we have one folder, and this folder is called the Osbian folder. And if you know the Osbian is like a second brain. So you see it was a second brain here. Osbian is a app that's free, open source. It looks like this. Okay. So when you come in here, you should have a second brain. So this is called a Victorian. So Victorian is the name of an apartment building that's on the market right now by Colliers. And I'm gonna give you a live example of what I ran today to see if it makes sense or not. Okay. So I said, okay, this guy is telling me we have a Victorian deal, which I sent to Conrad to look at. It knows all my very extensive detail of what I'm looking for, workforce housing and everything else. Very, very many hours of program making sure it's correct. I had to refine it. So once you program it, you gotta refine it until it's perfected to your liking. Okay, so it takes time to do that. Now, then I save into this brain called Osmium, and it looks like this. Okay, do you see this here? This is I built this over like a few months. Okay, and this is a lot of thinking behind this. So all this is data points. In this data points, it has something called MD file. MD file in Cloud Code is very important. Okay, Mike agent, go look at MD file, look at the skills. And every time it has to go into his brain and say, oh, wait a minute. Jonathan wants DFW. He wants 32 to like 200 units. He wants not class B, 1985 or higher. This is exactly what he's looking for. This is his type buy box. Anything outside of it, I don't want you to look because you're wasting my time. And that's how you save a lot of time because you're not going through something that is broke something like a whole bunch of deals, but a lot of noise, right? So you got to filter through that, and that's help you save time through this agent. And I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. You can see that I spent hours obsessively to go through this, like all these things in here. Feed, Brian, sales director, investor relations, Eventbrite. Here's my approval. I have three-tier approval. It's CEO, COO, and my flat organization direct reports. You got to go through that level. I only approve an email. Once I approve email, I want you to go and do your work. So I treat it like almost like a human. Like I was a taxpayer. I had like 10 people on my staff. Send me an email. To send me an email with this Excel file. I had to review it, give comments, and I put in an email. I said, hey, okay, here is your comments. Any question, book a time meeting with me. We'll go through a Teams meeting, go through all the points, and they will review it and send it back to me. And they need a meeting to book a time with me, and they will go through on live a team meeting. And this is my work when I work for the big banks in like this big investment bank in New York City. So I treat it almost like a human being. Like Mike is a human being. I said, Mike, you know my rules, you got to follow it. So this whole thing is a free report. Doesn't cost you 1 cent. It's free. And it's a repository that creates all these little activities. Like what's my SOP, statement of operating agreements? What's my policy procedure? What's the cadence? What's my circle? What's my blow distribution? What's my YouTube brand voice? How do I become Alex Hormozy? Give me that strategy the next 6 months. How do I grow million followers? All these things are on here. Like this whole is so much in here that it's becomes this whole like database of knowledge. So if you want a free repository, you can download this app called Osmium, and that will help you save the memory issue. Because what happens in Claude, if you tell one thing, next thing tomorrow, it just doesn't know what it is, and that's the issue. That's the issue with any AI. It keeps forgetting. But these little files, README and MD and all skills will help you save you a lot, tons of time, tons of hours. Okay? So now that's what did for me in essentially and how I create this thing. So raise your hand, you learned something new today about second brain and skills and how to set up this Claude. Anna or Carrie, Omar, did you learn something new? Is it good? Daryl, is it good? You like that? Okay, good. So this is free. I recommend it. And also, if you didn't know, Claude actually doubled the limits because they partner with SpaceX, Elon Musk company, and they essentially using a Memphis data center. But what very ingenious by Elon Musk, he thinks very ahead. He said, I don't want to take your water and resource and power from the neighborhoods because it's not good for the environment, for Earth. That's why he's trying to help create a secondary planet in Mars to terraform it. He's saying to harness all this incredible power and resources, we're gonna use the sun. We're gonna use the Falcon 9 and one of those big mothership that he has right here in Boca Chica, which is near South Texas on the coast. So St. Padre Island, very beautiful island. And he's gonna blast a lot of them into space, leave like kind of like almost like a Starlink thing, but it's meant for housing the data centers. And the sun will essentially power everything for basically using the sun for free and give you unlimited amount of power. And it don't need water because in Earth you need water to cool down because when it's too hot you need to cool it down. And this is why it takes too much money and resources from us, the neighbors. Like if you live in a town like Dallas, you put it in Dallas, it's gonna take a lot of our resources. So he got very ingenious. He said, you know what? I'm gonna put everything into space. How I'm doing with Starlink, and the Starlink will that system from the sun is unlimited. There's no clouds, no rain. It's always straight from the sun, and that essentially will power all the AI robotics you need from Grok and for Anthropic because they signed a contract. They said we need computing power because when you use Claude, like I'm sure Anna, you use it. It always says, "Oh, usage is limited," and you always got to pay a higher tier or you gotta wait because there's a weekly limit and a 5 hour limit. You ever get that usage limit, Anna, on the Claude? Okay, because when people use it a lot, use like coding and you're very heavy, it limits your ability to use it.
Yeah, I didn't get it yet, so
Oh,
I have to
okay.
understand.
Yeah, but when you do like heavy like power like coding and
Hmm.
building and agents and everything else, it's oh your time is up, then you gotta wait. Then you're very frustrated because you really want to use to build an app that you want, right?
Hmm.
So to solve that, he signed a contract with SpaceX, and now Cluster for free. We're gonna double your limit for free now. So now you won't run into the usage limit because he feels relieved that I have SpaceX to double the capacity now.
Hmm.
Okay, that's Claude and Claude Code, and a lot of the Claude here is very powerful. If you don't know Claude Code, this is the most powerful, one of the most powerful. And the second, I say, what's on par or almost a little above right now is Codex. But I say if you want to plan things, use Claude Code. If you want to program, use Codex. So Codex is this one here. If you don't know, do people know Codex? Raise your hand if you know Codex or not. Put in the chat so I know. Do you know Codex, guys? Put a thumbs up if you know it. You don't know it, just let me know. Just put no in the chat box. Do you know that, Anna?
No.
Okay. So Codex, okay, so Codex is essentially the number one on the planet right now for coding. If you want coding done, like a website, an application you want to build, let's say a fitness tracker if you want to work out and track how many steps you had, you can build it here for free, and it's the number one coding on the planet. And this is actually from OpenAI, ChatGPT. It's 5.5 version. And the reason why they did this is because they had to fight Claude during competition. Because Claude was winning, and every single day they released new features, like all these things like that. And then Claude was like on top after that government thing. So they said, you know what? We're gonna release a very powerful engine called Codex 5.5, and now all the top users are switching back to Codex now. So this is the reason why it's very impressive is because it's very fast and it's very powerful. It's better than Cloud Code in making applications right now. So before this was number one, now this overtook it, Codex. So Codex is actually ChatGPT, and when you go like this, it's actually ChatGPT, Cowork, and Code. So it's all these combined in one. And what it does is it gives you a live browser right here. Like let's say you want to build something here, it shows you live right here. So I recommend you guys play around with this. I think later on when it like 1 2 months, it will surpass Claude, Cowork, and everything else in there. Okay, so Codex, okay? And actually it's cheaper because on the free plan you can use it. On the $20 plan, ChatGPT you can use it as well, $20 a month. So for $20 you can actually use Codex, which is very affordable. If you think of like the affordability, this is actually very affordable, $20 a month. And it's the number one coding app in the world. So that's how powerful it is, okay? So I've been using it and it built this deck for me actually. This deck here, it built for me. Okay, just let you know. Like, you see this graphics right here?
Hmm.
This is all built by Codex. Okay. Okay. And this graphics looks better than so Claude has a limitation. It can't really generate images. You know that, right, Anna? It can't really create images in Claude.
Well, I can download it from like OM. I can download it and it will just put it nicely
Yes.
arranged. But I
Yeah.
cannot create. Yeah, it cannot. Yeah.
Yeah. So limitation, the drawback of Claude is that it can't really generate inside natively.
Yeah.
Like an image, like Google Nano Banana created from Google Gemini. ChatGPT could use DALL-E E and now has 2 point, the next version is really nice. But once you start using like this codex, the images are beautiful. Like they're like perfect. Like if you make an image of yourself, it's like beautiful, perfect. Okay. It knows what you like. So okay. So let's go back to Mike. So now you know kind of how we use it in Greystone and how we built this local deal analyzer or acquisitions analyst, and it helps you run and it gives you synopsis. So I show you here. I ran this one here, and I said, hey, what about this? You know, this Victorian deal, right? And I put it in here. I said, what about this one? I want to make you. I got it the T12, so I put it into that second brain, and I said, Mike, go look at the second brain under this folder called Victorian. What do you think? Does it meet my metrics? I don't want a 6% cash on cash. I want IRR 16%. He said, oh, I can see it now. Because remember, this thing don't remember until it goes back to second brain. So it has to go to second brain. So, oh, I got it. I see now it has multifamily, no storage. I see the folder. It looks great. Let me run my tools and everything. And the next thing you know, it says, oh, 85 a door is 7%. So I said, I will counter at so it even tells you what to do as an advisor. So hey, I'll counter at this price point. It gives you a 7 cap. It's a assumable loan. So like I said, another place you can assume this has 5 years left. So you have 5 years left. Look at what, 3 years now, six. So maybe yeah, looking at 4, 7. Yeah, it's almost 4 plus 6. Yeah, 6 years left. So you can assume it and you can sell it in 3 or 4 or 5 years, at a low rate. Because right now the rates went up because of Iran war. The Iran war went up, so the Treasury bond is not that stable. It went up higher because of higher risk because of Iran war. So you cannot fool the bond market. I worked in Wall Street for my life. You cannot fool the bond market. It knows. It sniffs it
Mhm.
out. It smells something funny or increase because too much volatility in the world. It's not stable, no peace. So so in this situation, it's saying, if you can assume the loan and you can get a lower price, it may make sense. So there is upside. It tells you all this analysis in here as your advisor, right? And then I say, hey, Houston, I don't like flood zone. Is it in the bayou or something? And it analyze it for you. It's in the bayou. It's very close. It says the bottom line. It says very close. So see here. This one says, hey, it's on the edge of the floodplain. It's very, very close. It's dangerously close. For me, that's like a no. I pass because I'm very like conservative. Because I know that it was gonna get a storm in Houston. And if that damaged the thing, get mowed, I'm basically done, man. I'm cooked. So, and I can't do it to my investors. I cannot do that. So I'm very safe and conservative. I would not do it to my investors or myself. A lot of people got hurt because of the ice storm in Oklahoma and Texas and back then and a couple of years ago. I don't remember what year was it. It hit my mower and apartment and it got hurt by the pipes and it was a significant damage caused and a lot of people got lost money. Because if you didn't know it was an ice storm and the ice froze, then when it thawed down, like I think a week later, so the pipe just popped out and then it caused significant damage. And then you start losing money, and it started going downhill from there. And then interest rate went up, and insurance doubled, and everything. So it started going downhill after that. Okay. Um. So I see something like this, being a CPA and conservatism, FASB 5, and one of the attributes of accounting, FASB 5, conservatism. If it's too close, I'm gonna say no. I'd rather pass and save myself a $1 million mistake than being aggressive and then losing my shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if I was you, if this is like this, I would not take this deal. Just forget about it. But this took me only 5, 10 minutes to analyze, and I'm done. I didn't spend hours and hours of looking at this thing. So this I would not send to Conrad and say, Conrad, I want you to look this more deeper into. I would save his time because I value his time, you know. If it's something like I really think it's someone I want him to look at, I'll send to him. And that's very rare because it's hard to get deal pencils in these days. So, but that's what I would do in the co-work. So co-work is like an operator, it's like an agent, and it can do work on your behalf, like OpenClaw. You know what OpenClaw is? Can you put your thumbs up? You know OpenClaw. Have you heard that before? OpenClaw? Okay, OpenClaw on the internet blew up. It was the first agentic platform that you could buy a Mac Mini, you download it, and what it does, it claws into your machine and it does work for you. It's open source, and that was OpenClaw. And after that, this Cobra came in and it became sort of OpenClaw competitor. And now you have Codex, and you have like Manus, which Facebook put $2 billion in December, $2 billion acquired to Manus, which is a Chinese firm, and it does similar things. But I like Cloud Code and I like Codex better than Manus. Manus costs you money because it goes by credits. So the more credits you use, it'll be very expensive. It's not like a flat fee where you pay like $100 or $20. It's like by credit. So every time you use more tokens, it could run you to like, $500 a month easily. That's Manus, which is Meta Facebook. So something like this took me like 5 minutes to know. I said, you know what? I'm not giving a Conrad. I'm passing this already. I'm done with this one. Okay. And that was a deal sent to us by colleagues today in my inbox. Yeah. So a 5 minute run can give you just a quick high level say, no, I'm done with this one. So it scans your multifamily listing. It applies your criteria. So and if yours is Florida and whatever you want to get, you just put in there. You put into the second brain so it doesn't forget. It saves you tons of hours of telling you over and over again, Claude, remember this. It reads your rent rolls, T12s, and everything else in there, and you can even say run a scrape the internet and tell me my competitors within a 5 mile radius, and it'll do that for you automatically, like OpenClaw. Yeah. It flags risk and tells you, if it's good, green, yellow, or red, like a traffic light. So if it's red, that means a hard pass. If it's yellow, you can dig deeper into it. If it's green, it really matches your criteria to what it's thinking. Obviously, you a human have to review it, make sure it doesn't make any mistakes. AI could make mistakes sometimes, so you have to be a human reviewer and ensure that's right for you to make sure that's correct. Okay. So deal scan, I showed you my prompt. I gave you my free prompt. I spent many hours breaking back doing it. Deal filter, deep dive. We rank gold, watch, pass, green, yellow, or red. Okay. And that's how would you do it to have an agentic machine that runs 24 hours a day. Every single morning, I said 7 a.m. in the morning when I wake up in my bed. I want to see something from you daily. I want to see like a health check, like, hey, what's the scam? What's all this? So I can look at my phone, my iPhone, and say, hey, okay, I see this deal, Fort Worth. I see, Weatherford. I see all this, Tulsa or whatever. I see everything else, and that's what I see. Yeah. So we send all these stuff, and you put it all in, and it tells you really quickly. So this is where I think you'll save you tons of time. I mean, wouldn't you agree? Raising hand, this will save you a ton of time and money from just a quick. It does it for you, and you wake up and boom, you have an order for you. If you agree, then just put it up. Yeah, Brandon, you have a question? Okay, good. Okay, so you guys agree? You save your time? Just put your thumbs up on it so I can see it. Okay, good. Awesome. Justin, good. Justin, are you there? Justin? Okay, just thumbs up. Okay, good. Okay, so that's what I want you to do because then in your inbox every day, it's right there for you. You just have to be a human reviewer. You gotta be kind of like the CEO, right? Okay, what's on my desk today? Oh, this guy sent me that's great. Now I gotta review it and make sure it makes sense. Okay. So I gave you my prompt, and here's another prompt you can use. Scan today's Crexy, LoopNet, CoStar, put your stuff in, rank it by the cities, give me a goal, watch, pass deal. So I want you to do that for yourself so that you can run it and you can see it your own self. Okay. And as you can see, it runs the NOI, the rent gap, and stabilization. And then you have to negotiate hard. And it even tells you, like the verdict here, I say you have to negotiate hard. Go back to the broker, do a tour and say, hey, I don't think this is, based on what I see, you have a deferred me, you have HVAC, your roof is collapsing. I see chiller and boiler, which is not good. I need to come back to you at this price point. Let me know if this is something it's acceptable to you. Share submit an LOI. And he'll tell you like yes or no, or if you're in the ballpark, he'll let you know. And if you're in the ballpark, that's where I would just say, you know what, why don't you submit an LOI? And the agent can actually produce it for you. They can actually write it for you. You review it and it can actually send an email for you on your behalf. The agent can do it for you. So it's almost like having a virtual assistant or executive assistant. You can do it, actually do it for you. You don't have to do it yourself. So like for example, I come in here and I say, okay, so this guy's my executive assistant and COO job is okay. I think I'll try to give him a low ball offer. So create me an LOI for my review, right? And email to me. Okay. So then it's gonna create right now. And there's different levels. You can use Sonnet, which is the middle level, or Opus 4.7 now, which is the highest level, and Haiku, which is the lowest level. But I use Sonnet because unless you do very complex coding work, you use the highest level, but it uses a lot of tokens. So to conserve your token, you should use the middle one, which is pretty capable of just doing this normal stuff. So you hit here, and right now it's gonna live you think about. So there's a progress bar here, and it'll say, okay, we're gonna start working on this, and it's gonna run this. And I use act without asking. Without asking, it will essentially you click this button and say, I don't want you to ask me any questions because it's very annoying. Every 5 minutes will ask you, can I approve? Can I approve? Can I look at your second brain? And it's very annoying. So you want to click this button here. And you say, yeah, go ahead, just go ahead. I trust it enough because I've worked so much that I say, just go ahead, you know. And now it's gonna run and see how it's reading my skills. The MD is reading instructions because in this plugin right here, there's something called customization plugins here. So you click here, and what you want to do is you want to add legal and all these things. This is Anthropic's own skills, like a library. You say, hey, legal, brand voice, legal, and you press plus, and it goes in. And you wanna press all these things in here, like finance, all these things here, brand voice here. And once you put it in, it has skills built in as a cookie, and it will automatically default to those plugins as well, and it runs it automatically for you. So now you come back in here, it's already running already. Now what it does is it's gonna look at the skills and it's gonna produce it out for me. It's gonna send me an email, say, Jonathan, here's your review. And do you like it? I can always adjust it. And you could tell it. The way you do is like this, okay? The way professionals do it. I'll teach you how I do, but I'll teach you how professionals do it. I like to type it in sometimes because I'm used to typing. But the real way how people actually do it is they talk to this agent through like a microphone here. So there's a little button. You say, hey, why don't you do this? And words pop out and you send it off. So it's called like vibe coding. But I type it in. I'm used to typing it in. So you can type it in like this, or you can just vibe code. Just talk to it. So now it's running, right? Now you see this in here. It's run all these commands. It's gonna look at my second brain. It's gonna look at these skills, MD skills. It's very critical for this agent to actually think and say, "Oh, I know what he wants." And what he's gonna do is gonna send me see right now it's running all this. It's created. Yeah, I'm gonna send you an email right now. So literally right now, it goes to my MD files. It creates it. It gives me a progress bar, and now it's gonna send to me. So I have Zapier connected. So Zapier connects with 1,000 apps. So it connects different apps. You can say, hey, go to Zapier, connect to, my high levels, my CRM, connect to cash flow portal, connect to, Gmail, whatever everything else. It connects to 1,000 things. So you can use Zapier to connect. And how you do is come in here, you go connectors, and you find Zapier. So Zapier here, and you log in, you connect to it. That's how you connect to Zapier. And Zapier is very powerful because it creates a connection bridge to thousands of million apps out there that it uses. Okay. Okay. So now it basically generate me an LOI. Okay. It emailed to me. So now I'm gonna get it through my email right now. Okay. So when I come in here, it's gonna run through all this and it's gonna submit it to me right now. And I have also here in my inbox, my second brain, and it's gonna show me, see, it's a show in the folder. You click here, it's gonna open it up. So here's my LOI right here. So it'll be a Word document here. You pop it out. So there's a letter of intent, this is the property sale. Now you can add, you guys a broker whose name you add in here or just whatever it is, and you get to figure that one out. And then you can say my purchase price, my loan assumption, closing costs, deposits. You as a reviewer, you gotta review, make sure it makes sense to you as a human, and you want to maybe like extension period or something.
That would be a quick
And,
call. I'm still in a meeting that's running a bit late.
oh, yeah, I'm just yeah. And then loan assumption, and you have all these things in here, and you want to look at it, make it to your liking. You can tell the bot to adjust to your liking, or you could just use this, but I'll make sure you read carefully and then make sure it's adjusted to your liking, and you can sign it and send it off. But you see, in a few minutes, you're having LOI that's in a draft form. If you want to modify, you just come back here and you can talk to it. You can actually talk to it. You don't have to type it in. Like see the button right here? And that's called vibe coding. Coding means you actually build an application, but this is vibe instructions, okay? And you can do that and you send it off to the broker and that's it. So was that good? Put a thumbs up if you think that was very valuable to you guys. Doing something new today about that? Good? Okay, good. Good. So that's something you can do. And you could vibe code. You just talk to this robot right here. Just say, hey, talk, press a button, talk to it. Okay. Now, now that's the power of AI in 2026. And I build like 10 of them. I show you 8 or 9 of them. You could build a whole system. You spend hours thinking how to build it, but that's how you build it. Yeah. So like I said, if you want to analyze a rent roll, you dump it in there into the folder, and it will say what's the market rate, scan 5 miles. What's the delta? Is there any much delta in there? And how much can I value add? If I spend 5 grand a unit, how much can I actually make the value of the NOI go up? And this brain is very smart, can calculate everything for you in a few minutes. So that's you dump in the rent roll and it will run everything for you automatically. That's like a real like human. Yeah. So the T12 is where you want to dump it in as well, and it will tell you if it's a good or pass or anchor. And it will do something called what if scenarios. So what if scenario is basically like let's say you wanna bid so very common these days you do one a seller financing and one at a regular debt or one a bridge debt or one regular debt or self financing. You give two offers. That's common these days because because it's so like all this creativity coming on. I see two offers coming in. Maybe one at a lower price with better terms or something, or one at a higher price but 4% interest rate for 5 years IO. So you give him the price, but you don't give him the terms. And one, you give him a lower price, but you give him the terms. So somewhere you have to meet in the middle, but you can give him like 2, 3 offers. And that's common these days because there's a lot of distress out there in the marketplace. They're all like hurting right now. So you can tell this agent, hey, run 1, 2, and 3 and give and just produce all these LOIs, 3 LOIs, and it does it for you in like 5 minutes. Then you as the CEO have to go say, okay, I gotta make sure this is what I'm exactly looking for, and then you can refine it by telling the agent what you want. Okay. And you can analyze the scenarios of like sensitivity analysis by that. So how you do that is go come in here. I have something called a syndication calculator. So let me show you. So I built this through Claude Code. It took time to think about how to prompt it and everything else. But I said I don't want Excel no more. I want all in dashboard because Excel you can make a mistake in Excel. So Excel will go away because you have this kind of dashboard now. So you go sensitivity analysis. Let's say if I sell it at a 5% cap or a 7.5, what do I show my LP? You show them all these little things here. You show investor returns through here. You could play around this LP equity, acquisition fee, and everything else, waterfall. And I built this whole calculator, just calculate these kind of like a deck, a presentation deck, and how much if I think I can sell for this cap rate, I'll make this kind of money like this. And you can use this in your deck. You can copy this and put it in your deck. And the AI agent can actually create for you in Codex or Claude Cowork or Claude Code. So it can take this calculator you built and it can actually put it into your deck and show your investor. So isn't that cool? Is that something that you guys seen before? I built this from scratch and we created this whole thing so that basically we could have a what if scenario so that people would know that, hey, I'm conservative. This is what I think essentially what will happen if I put 8 pref, this and that. Exit assumption if it's 6 and if it's 7, let's say it's a bad market at times, 8, 7.5 cap, and the broker cost and remaining balance and all these things like this. And you teeter with it and it gives you updated right here. Okay. And I have a whole bunch of things in here, but that's what we created. So you can create that custom dashboard for you. Um, so like I said, here's a 4-minute workflow, broker email, rent roll, teach roll, comp, the verdict, and bam, that's it. So you can tell you're wasting your time or not, and boom, you're done. Okay. So now you know what to ask the broker. If the insurance spiked or something very large you see, you can have the agent say, hey, so and so, thanks for sending it over, but I see a huge spike in insurance. I see a huge capex. Can you give me a little color of why, one year when I doubled or something? And then the broker will say, oh yeah, this is what happened, and here's a story, and that will give you the sensitive analysis of what happened to that thing, and it can file for you. Okay, so the operators who win, the top 1% right now who uses AI to their advantage, AI leverage, will win. We will win over people who does it always, or who does it always through Excel, or does very slow and takes hours to underwrite pen and paper and stuff like that. So we will win because we're leveraging the highest technology, OpenAI and Claude to underwrite fast. So today it took me 5 minutes to know that Victorian deal would not make sense for me at Greystone because I worry about my investment myself because of the flood and also, it's kind of like a flood zone area and I'm not keen to that. I don't want to put anyone at risk because once you get in that situation, it'll be very hard for you to sell and get out. If you do want to sell, they're going to reduce your price very significantly, where you probably lose money, or you probably break even, probably lose money most of the time. So, yeah. So with this workflow that I taught you, you can analyze 20 plus deals a week, every single day, 4 minute, boom, you're done. Automated drafts, automated pipelines. We have the unfair advantage. That's why I built this custom master program because I want to make sure that people understand how to use this. Okay. So I want to have a question for you guys. Let me ask you a question. Is it okay? I can show you most of what we can do to help you to grow your business, be a top 1% operator and acquisitions. Is that okay? Put your thumbs up if it's okay. Okay. Is yes. Okay, good. Because I want to show you guys what I do and all the things I do. I spend an hour doing this. Okay. So my special program is I teach you how to use AI and scale your business so that you do learn one of us and my team. We do have a lot of deals. We work with we do many like foreclosure deals and we're building assisted living brand new. And basically it's a mastermind that we help teach you, mentor you how we do deals together. You could be a co-GP, you could be a fund manager as well. We'll teach you all that and how to run all these, I'll think behind it to get all these deals and raise capital and close together and grow together. So, alone is hard, especially when you're new. But inside this mastermind, we do a whole system for you. We'll teach you how I build all the second brain, all these little skills and everything we do, and how you leverage that skills for you. And I think it's very valuable. And I think this is why I decided to have this. And some of my students here, Conrad and Brendan, can talk about it. So Conrad, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, happy to. Hi, everybody. My name is Conrad. Thanks for joining tonight. Yeah, as you can tell, Jonathan is a wealth of knowledge, especially when it comes to AI and multifamily and capital raising. I've actually been working with him for a couple years now. I hired him as my personal real estate coach a couple years back, and we've been working together ever since. And even our partners on a few multifamily deals now, and I help him with underwriting. So I really trust the process that he's got, and we align on a lot of conservative underwriting and how to run deals and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today in my real estate career and business without the power of community, and specifically with kind of Jonathan's coaching and guidance and customization of the game plan to get me where I need to be with my own goals, and then lean on some other folks in the network. So I can't speak highly enough about getting in a room with the right people and having the right mentor and coach helping you along the way.
Hmm. And then Brendan, you have a few words to speak.
Yes, good evening to everyone. My name is Brandon Howard. I'm based in Chicago, Illinois. I've been investing in real estate on and off since 2002. I've been mentored by Jonathan personally since 2022. We've worked on a number of deals here, and my preference is really capital raising and investor relations, which Jonathan has taught me how to do that even more efficiently and quickly using these powerful AI tools that we have now. And teamwork makes the dream work. So with this mastermind group, like I say, we use these tools to source deals, to underwrite, bring them to the table. If they make sense, we go after them and we try to take them down as a
Mhm.
group and as a team. So
Yeah.
welcome, and I hope you guys join.
Yeah. And you guys have done several deals, right? Several deals with me. Several deals, Brendan, right?
Yeah, we've got a 113 unit townhome community in Louisville, Kentucky, and we just closed on a 32 unit in Sherman, Texas.
Yeah. So that's the power of my community and my mastermind. And I want to give some of my time back to help you guys when I was helped when I first started. And I think I use it every single day, and I think this is the way that we're gonna get a lot of deals and win and grow. And my members will have opportunity to do with me personally. You can come on my due diligence and my asset manager calls. Like Justin, he's welcome to come. Everyone's come on my calls. So okay. So if you do it alone, it's gonna be hard for you. It's gonna be trial and error. It's gonna be slow, and you hope the market will pick up. If you join my mastermind, you're gonna help you. I'm gonna build your own agents for you, like how I did, the whole system, your brand voice, your templates, coaching 101, community with my community, and have momentum because we're building assisted living here in Dallas, and we're looking for land right now. We're looking at every single day. The AI agent scans like 100 deals, and we're picking out the best deals for my investors. You can be very conservative, and my deal will do well for my investors. So, we're one-on-one coaching, live access, priority, AI agent, building sessions, automatic underwriting, brand voice, how to scale YouTube channel to grow your first 10,000 followers. I know how to do that because we know the secrets of how to grow this. We teach you how to do YouTube shorts and everything TikTok, and we'll grow you to Alex Hormozy, scale your brand to very powerful that people know, see who you're, either a capital raising person, the brand person of your company, SOP, underwriting, prompt, and everything, private community, and DD tours. And we have an annual retreat. We meet together, we spend time together and hang out. So mine is just 997 a year, and pin is available. So that's my program. If you guys interested, speak to Conrad. He can help you out and give you more information. But this is what I give you is a lot of value. And we're going to do a lot of deals together and grow. So any questions on that? Okay.
And Jonathan, what I'll do is I'll put my email in the chat. If anybody is interested, I'm happy to have a one-on-one phone call, Zoom call, whatever, and tell you
Okay.
more about my experience and
Yeah.
see what specific questions you've got and see if it's a good fit. So
Yeah.
I'll throw my email in the chat. Feel free to reach out anytime.
Yeah, and Anna, your question, Anna?
Uh, yeah, I'm in several mentoring and coaching groups. So how different this would be? I'm with Michael Blanc. I'm with Kengi, Grant Cardone. So, uh, how different is that
And
from
you can
them?
ask Conrad. He's a Michael Blanc former student. So you can ask them. They can tell you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I started in with Michael Blanc, and really the biggest benefit is the smaller, more intentional community that Jonathan has built. That's actually people that have done deals and are doing bigger deals, and there's that momentum and more of a sense of purpose and drive I've noticed. And then especially just the one-on-one coaching is a lot more personalized and specific through Jonathan, and he really learns about your business and your goals and helps tailor and build out kind of to your specific needs.
Yes.
Okay.
So Anna, before Conrad could not get no deal, and Brennan was stuck. Once he joined mine, he started getting momentum in deals. Tell him, Brennan.
Yeah, basically, Michael Blanc program. We all met in that program, right? So it's great for networking, and meeting like-minded people. But as far as the execution and the capital raising aspect of it, I needed a little more help with. But after joining Jonathan, he was my mentor in that program, and joining his mastermind, we basically uh, focus more on deal sourcing and capital raising, right? As a group, right? So basically, you're not on an island by yourself. You're with a group of people who are trying to take down the same deal. Deal source, underwrite, and raise capital on it and close it.
Yeah, so I was a coach in Michael Blanc, Anna. They were my students. And the issue I saw was that they had difficulty in raising capital and stuff like that. And I taught them how to do that. And that's how they did deals with me. And they scaled and grew. And then I'm teaching them how to leverage AI now and the scaling and growing. And I'll be building a business here, a robotaxi fleet, and they can be part of it as well. So people who come in my community can be part of my AI robotaxi fleet as well.
Okay.
And my assisted living community. So if you join, you be part of that community as well. So.
Okay.
And one more thing, Anna, I want to add, like with our monthly calls that we have like guest speakers that come in, CEOs of like different companies, other operators, syndicators, all in different aspects of commercial and multifamily business.
Well, my biggest problem, I know we're talking about with other people's, but I went through all these mentoring classes and underwriting and capital raising. And basically because I'm new fairly, because I'm always was LP, nobody takes me seriously and I cannot find anybody we can create a GP group basically. So I finally can hands-on experience. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what
so that's why Michael Blanc, the big gurus, has that issue. Where that's why I created a smaller one. So Conrad and Brent comes on my deals, DD. They help raise capital. They become my partners. They've done three deals already with me. Very large deals. Class A, we could close $40 million in 1 year. The Brent Linger and also Traditions, right, Conrad?
Mm.
And so tell them how that changed your life from Michael Blanc. Michael Blanc was hard to get deals on your own. It was very difficult.
Yeah, it was. I'd say that program was great at laying the foundation and kind of showing me what I need to learn and kind of develop in the space overall. But really, when it came down to some tactical strategies and personalization of how to leverage maybe my background and professional skills versus the investor I'm trying to attract and asset class I'm trying to go towards. Kind of this one-on-one with Jonathan and the small Greystone Mastermind group really helped drive and push me to actually getting my foot in the door on that first deal that I did with Jonathan here in Dallas, and then the one after that that Brandon's on as well in Kentucky that he was talking about, and another one here in Texas, and
Yeah.
kind of that ball keeps rolling once you get the first one. And Jonathan and the Greystone Group have really helped me and kind of propel me, whereas I probably just would have been spinning my wheels in a bigger group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a benefit, and that's why I created it because
Yeah.
I want to help people grow. I don't want to see them stuck. That's why I really want to help them grow because I'm giving back my time. Yeah, I want to take a few students a month. That's what I want to do. So okay. But yeah, you can reach out to Conrad. You interested? You can scan this also. But this is build. I want to help you build your AI dream machine and real estate future with us, the Greystone Mastermind. Okay, we'll help you build the whole org chart. We'll get everything for you. We'll focus on your Florida market, and you get a lot of deal flow. You analyze it, and then when I have a deal, you can help also come with my deals too. So okay,
Very good.
yeah,
Enjoy it. It was good. Good
good. Thank
call.
you guys. Okay,
Mhm.
so you have Conrad's number. Just reach out to him. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.